Hey y'all, what's up, my soul lovers? It's your girl, Lisa Marshall, keeping it old school. Tonight, we are going to continue on the mix of Question Everything. My first 1 minute song that I wrote in the funk genre. I sounded like a real nerd just then, didn't I? So anyway, we're focusing on getting some separation and clarity around the instruments. I always like to try different things, a different order of things, if you will. We're going to try panning the instruments first, and then we're going to add compressors on the mix buses of all the instruments and vocals. And then we're going to start with a little tonal EQ. That's kind of how I go. And then if something's sticking out, then I go back and start looking at some of the frequencies of where can I, what's clouding up the mix. That makes more sense to me. I know not everybody does it that way. I've certainly seen like brilliant mixers who just know their stuff with EQ, just do it that way. I am not that. I could stand a little more practice on the EQ end. To be honest. I mean, I'm literally just, as I'm recording this album and learning, I'm just sharing this with you. So this is really what this is about. This is just about being behind the scenes as I am completing my EP called Higher, which I'm really, really excited about. I went for a walk today and I was listening to Collage by The Fifth Element. Man, what a cool song. Such a cool song. And it was interesting to hear the congas in the back because what it made me realize is that sometimes I spend just too much time on one instrument trying to get it to sound a certain way. And sometimes you just have to let that go and let it be kind of that weird sound. If it's not that, like, the congas definitely add to this song in Collage. But it's really, for me, it's all about the vibe. And it totally captures the vibe and the energy. So that's what we're doing here today. And I've got a free PDF for y'all. It's called The Secret Sauce. And it's about subtractive EQ. And it's kind of like a rundown on the instruments, mix buses, on where you might take a look of where buildup could happen. And also useful if you like to mix the way that I do, which is kind of to see what you've captured first, pan it out, see if you can hear everything pretty clearly, maybe do a little volume automation here and there, and then continue with some compression and tonal EQ and see if it's helping the mix or not. Honestly, sometimes you just get, that is perfectly fine the way it sounds. Leave it alone. So I've got that. Also has the mix chain overviews in that PDF, and that's for free. So you can just head over to my, hey, madam, what's up? You can head on over to my website, lisamarshallmusic.com, and grab it at I think it's called the Analog Studio. I can't remember. I can only keep so much in my brain. And or you can just put Secret Sauce in the comments below, and I'll get you the link. And I'm also writing custom songs while I'm doing my album because they just seem to go hand in hand, and I'm having a great time doing it. I recently watched a documentary on Diane Warren, who... What was cracking me up is Cher and other artists who have recorded her songs. Everybody says that every time she writes a song, it's the best song she's ever written. And I gotta say, that's kind of, look at my light is messing with me tonight. I gotta say that's kind of what's happening as I'm doing these custom songs. I'm not even kidding. I'm having so much fun. It is so expansive and interesting to really embody songwriting as, full time, which is really cool. And also, these songs I'm licensing also for, like, corporate events and retreats and things like that too. So, all this to say, I've got a couple more slots open for a custom song before the holidays. So, you can always just shoot me a message in the comments, or you can reach out to me via my website. And I meant to put my email in the comments or in the description. I don't think I did. So let's get to it. Let's take a listen. Where we left off last time is that I had gotten through basically treating this project like what I imagine it would have been like at the studio, right? Playing back through tape in the console. And then I just went through and did subtractive EQ or high pass filters, really, just to get rid of any low end buildup or rumble. And then I have balanced things. But it was pretty late at night, so let's see how that looks. Yeah, and if we get to it, we will also talk about universal reverb sends, which is interesting. The first time I just recently did it on one of my first songs, mixing projects, and I really like it. I like it a lot. So, yeah, that might be for tomorrow night. So let's take a listen to what we got here. Let's see how it's sounding. I want to make sure that I'm somewhere. Oh, and let me shrink up my head so you can see what we're doing here. Let me shrink up my head so you can see what we're doing. My cursor's acting weird, yeah. I'm in a little square box up in the corner. Okay, so let's take a look. I just want to see that make sure that I'm covering like a section of the song where most of everything is happening. That's all I'm looking for right now. Okay. Great. Sweet. It's perfect spot. So what I'm going to experiment with right now is I'm going to, just out of curiosity, grab another compressor on the mix bus. I'm going to try this SSL compressor. Very minimal to see if it's going to add any more glue. Give me a little more gluiness on this. And then we'll continue on. So I'm going to use Waves SSL compressor. we're going to try doing just a little more balancing here. The electric piano is pretty out there. I'm kind of really loving this. So this is going to be interesting as we go along and get the compression on the mix buses on the instruments. I'm probably going to lower some of those crash hits, but I'm not worried about that just yet. Oh, yeah. All right, yeah. So there's conga. Ah. just looking for where the crashes are. Okay. So, yeah, there's going to be a little arrangement things happening in here too. I just, I think I definitely want that hi-hat up just a little bit more during this. Where is that crash? Might be one of the room mics. I just want that crash to come down. There it is. Huh. Oh. I generally don't like toms in my song. I don't know why I'm so adverse to toms on the drum let's see what this is. All right, I might have to pull that back up. Leave that alone and then all right, we're going to circle back to that. Okay. Everybody. All right. Okay, we're going to keep going with that. That's good. I'm pretty pleased with that. All right, let's start on this compression. Picky. Okay, I might have a little perfectionism going on here. And call it what you want. I might be a little picky. That's okay. Just preference, honestly. Let's call it preference. I like that. I'm drinking a little pine needle tea. So good. And the weather's starting to cool off here, so I'm loving it. Check it out. My little last Christmas, my dad sent us these coffee cups. Got us these coffee cups. Marshall. I think it's Scottish. Yeah, I believe it is Scottish, where the Marshall name comes from. But like, oh man, we got my family is like the melting pot. I've got a Puerto Rican grandmother. I've got, Scottish Marshall, got French and English and German, and there's a little bit of everything up in this hizzy. All right, let's get to decompression. We're going to start on the vocal bus. And I'm going to start with actually the Waves Puig Child 670 on this. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I like the Puig Child 670 a lot because it's just very simple compressor. Very simple. We're going to try a slower time constant, which is the attack here and release. And let's see. I really just went about you a brilliant mind. You a brilliant mind. Nice little slow release. Fair question. Yeah, I'm digging it. So on these backing vocals, we're going to do a slightly tighter compression on these here. And we're going to go with Logic. I've already got it sitting right here, so I'm just going to use it. Right? Okay. And we're going to go with the vintage VCA in this here. And we're going to do ratio. Let's see what we got. Everything. I'm going to turn off. Oh, excuse me. Wow. Question. Everything. I believe. So when I'm mixing, I also like to just kind of visualize I want this kind of loose, kind of feel in this, I want to bring people into the studio kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's what I love about listening to this old school soul music. Like today when I was taking my walk and just listening to the mix and how they pan things, and it feels like I'm right there with them. So I try to picture okay, the backup singers would probably all be standing around one microphone, and because this is kind of like a funkadelic song, like I want it to sound like, it's just kind of this late night and we're just throwing out ideas, and even though there's an octave and then a couple of weird harmonies happening, like I want to, like, they're a tight group and they like to do everything together, and so they know how far to stand away from the microphone, and this is how my brain works. I kind of like create this little scene. I love it. All right, and I forgot to look at where it's hitting already. 18.7. And I want to lower that threshold a little bit. Wrong way. Let's try this. Let me just get it so I can loop it. Yeah, maybe about to 3 dB. Yeah, just because of the it's really punchy. We're just going to take a little bit of the makeup gain. Yeah. All right, let's go over here to the piano, since that's kind of, to me, the next most important instrumentation in this song. There's what I really want to create is that kind of Trouble Man vibe. So I want that piano to really, really be present in this song. As you can see, I've got a lot of the old chains up in here, and I just left them because I might be using them here and there. So I didn't have to go searching for everything again. So we're going to do on the piano bus, we're going to try the Logic's Opto compressor, because it kind of mimics the LA2A, which is kind of like a little buttery compressor, and I want that to have kind of that buttery, almost jazz flavor, if you will. So we're going to leave the ratio about 2:1 there. Get it just a little bit. Let's see where we're 15.9, 13.7. Wow. Perfect. All right, let's go over here to the electric piano, which I left as both of them as single tracks. I did not put them together, only because this one track is doing just kind of a very percussive thing. So I want to not have it constantly triggering the compressor. Because the other part is not doing that. It's more of a pad kind of thing. So I'm going to just option and drag also the opto over here to these guys. And let's see what we got. Let's move this over where I can focus on it. Yeah. So I can already tell that I'm going to have to find some space for that low end pulsing electric piano. I've got it panned pretty far to, well, all the way. Is pretty hard right, but as you can see here, let me show you. Can you see that right here? I got this panned pretty hard right. And I want it to kind of be that kind of sneaky thing that you're like listening to it and going, what is that? What's happening? Like, that kind of nerd out excites me. I have been listening to Aretha Franklin. She's one of my all-time favorites. I have been doing, like, just, when I go to listen to music, it's usually her right from the get-go. I listen to so much of Aretha Franklin. I love her. And I've listened to Chain of Fools I don't know how many times. It's a great walking song, but also, to me, one of the coolest rhythmic songs there is. All I can say is it seems to create this kind of circular motion feeling. It is so cool. And there's not a whole hell of a lot going on in that song if you've ever listened to it. Really, it's just a lot of call and answer stuff that's really kind of grabbing your attention. But it is so funky and so greasy. Just a few years ago, I was listening to it, and there is an electric piano part happening way in the back. I think it's panned hard left, if I'm not mistaken. That's how much I listen. That's the kind of little nuggets that I love for, like, when people start listening to the songs over and over again. They're like, oh, I've been listening to this song how long, and I just heard this? Really, Steph? Henderson means son of Henry. Huh. I didn't know that. That's really cool. I think Marshall is like horsekeeper or something like that. I think. I found this interesting. So another surname in my family is Farmer. Now you would think it would be the obvious, but nope. Apparently it is English and it means tax collector. How popular do you think my family was back in the day? All right, let's get the compression done on this. And so I guess, I want to say one more thing. Like if you're a producer of your own music, and I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes I want to give up because it seems like fuck, I just am not getting that mix that I'm hearing of all my favorite songs, I'm not getting that tight low end and and there is something to be said about that. I'm not going to lie. However, I also listened to a couple of songs today where I was like, wow, it still has the energy. And maybe I was talking about the congas earlier, maybe that's really weird that they left the congas just sounding kind of like that, because it really didn't sound like congas to me. It sounded very kind of like Dead Doorish almost, but it worked. So it's reminding me to let some things just go. Just let it go, because sometimes that's what differentiates your songs from other mixes. And to me, that's what creating music, apart from creating the music sonically and the music itself, But when you get to do this part too, that's partly what I find so exciting because like this is not going to be mixed like a Led Zeppelin song. That's not what I'm going for, right? And that's what's so cool about it is that you can instantly tell like a rock and roll mix versus a soul mix. I'm not saying that they don't bleed over on each other. In my opinion, they most certainly do. But there's just a certain aesthetic that happens, and that's what's kind of exciting about being able to do this. Taking these deep dives and just learning these little minimal, basic kind of basic, but minimal things to kind of zhuzh up your mixes and bring out that really yummy sonic stuff. All right, that I'm off my platform. Wow. And I will say also this, that there is a part of me that sometimes wants to not stage gain and or gain stage and just go, oh, just leave it. It's just a couple decibels. But trust me, I've gotten to a big mess of like, what is happening? Should have just keep it gain stage. Just keep it tight. Keep it as tight as you can. You can always, automate it later, mess with the volume later. Just keep moving along. Okay. All right. I mean, it's like, if it's like 0.4, like a 0.1234, something like that in the dBs range, I don't super stress over it, if that makes sense. Okay, so electric piano, we're good. Piano, we've got that happening. Let's head on over to the drum bus. So we're also going to use Logic on this. And we're also going to do the vintage VCA on this. We're going to turn auto gain off. 13. Okay, I just wanted to make note of that. All right, so on the drums, we're going to do a 4-to-1 ratio attack. This between 10 and 30, just to let the transients breathe. It's already on 15. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Auto, let's see, 100 to 300. So let's split the difference and start at 200 or 210, wherever it's going to let us do. And let's see, we went by 2 to 6 gain reduction here. We want to turn it on too. That's nice. I can already hear a little more clarity on the kick and snare for that. So that's great. We're going to leave it just as it is right now. And remember, this is just, to me, it's like, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's kind of like, a clay sculpting, right? And you're trying to get that nose just right. You know, you're pushing. You know what I mean? You're getting the nostrils and oh, push the eye back up, kind of thing. That I kind of see mixing like that. It's like making your clay sculpture. So you have to do a little this, a little bit of that. All right, we are going to do on this one, we're going to do the vintage FET or FET on bass. 4-to-1 ratio. All right, let's see where we're at with this. 17.3. Let's turn that off. Already kind of bringing some really lovely clarity to the bass line. Just double check that gain staging 17.9. Okay. All right, let's mess around with the bass a little bit here to see if we can get it a little bit tighter. So we're going to mess around with some of these right, some of these settings and just see what we got here. Definitely a little bouncier out at the 4-1. Okay. For some reason that sounded like it was in the wrong key and it scared me. All right, we're all right. Yeah. Definitely going to have to round it up a little bit more, make it a little more rounder tone. Make sure I haven't done too much of a... Nope, 25's good. All right, maybe a little subtractive EQ in there to try to get it a little rounder tone. I want it to kind of kiss up onto the 5, -5 dB. We'll see. We'll keep it on the slower side of the attack. Let the transients kind of thump and breathe. Right, we're trying to get back to 17.9. Huh, oops. I played the bass with a pick because I just wanted a little, I wanted to dig in a little more. Yeah. It's all right. We'll just keep moving. We're going to definitely have to do a little subtractive EQ in there. I can hear, yeah. All right. So I think we got everything except for, all right, we got the backing vocal. You know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the same compression over here for the dutes, because technically it is a backing part, but... and also we're going to do a little compression on the talking. Same thing, same idea. So let's do that real quick before we move on to the guitars. All right, that's what I want to hear. All right, let's take a look at that here. 23, 3. All right, cool. What did we say? 23.3? Yeah. Alright, I'm alright with that. Later we will affect that with a little more, and the ending of this song is so cool because I just did this, anyway, I won't give it away. It's going to be really cool. It's so cool. I've already mixed this song once, but went back again to do it again. All right, and let's see about the talking. I'm not really sure. Yeah, why not? This is going to be a little interesting, and that I might end up doing an aux send from the talk bus just so I can control I'm getting ahead of myself, kind of. Yes, no. What I want to hear is on that talk bus. I also did some singing parts on there too, which I should probably separate. Is this one of them? Yeah, I totally did. I think, let's see. Oh yeah. All right, that's all right. I want to see how that's going to hit the compressors real quick just to make sure. And again, I'm not trying to be too like controlling or like, oh, that's got to be on a separate track. No. I want this to sound like it was just kind of this jam that started, improvise, and that's what happened. There was some talking going on and also on the same track, because really, you know, if you're trying to capture that whole idea of the multi-tracking, where everybody's in the studio together, in some ways, yes, I'm trying to control things a little bit, but in some ways also I'm trying to like go, oh, they're all around the same microphone kind of vibe. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah, that works out just fine. The compressor is doing a great job on both the talking and the improvised singing. Okay, great. So we got that. Let's head on over to the wah bus. Yeah. All right, you can see I did a DBX 160 here, but I'm going to try the SSLG because I'm really digging that compressor a lot. And for guitars, it seems to do a really great job at just kind of letting those transients through. I don't know. It's a really cool compressor in my opinion. So we're gonna try the SSL on this. Oh, great. So I did not. Okay. And I got the chunky guitar right there, too. Fantastic. I didn't stick it in the same thing. I was concerned that I put it in the same mix bus with the wah. But I know better now. All right. And look, it's just such an easy little compressor to use. Just hit this little analog button. Let's listen to it. All right, 17.1. So we're going to keep it at the ratio 4:1. Let's go to attack. We're going to put that to about 10 ms here. Release. We're going to put it on auto. Bank. 17.1, right? About 1 to 3 dB, minus 1 to 3 dB is what I'm going for here. Just trying to get back to 17.1. All right, Steph. Sweet dreams. Muchos besos y abrazos para ti también. Groovy. And let's go ahead and... Ooh, the claps. I forgot to take care of the claps. And we're just going to do option drag of this SL compressor over here to the chunky guitar. 22. I just started thinking that maybe I should... I'm probably going to have to play around with some of the panning on this, just to kind of keep the electric piano and the wah out of each other's way. All right, that's okay. Piano whirly is over to the right. Yeah, I want that. That was fun. Let me save this before I lose anything. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to play with some of the panning here. Like I'm feeling like, not that I want it to be perfectly balanced. It doesn't have to be that, because I think once we kind of start tightening up more the mix, it'll sit where it's supposed to sit. But yeah, I'm liking that better. I just threw the, oh no. What I mean to do was... Yeah, my ears are just starting to get a little tired. That's all. All right, let's grab. We got to do the congas and also the claps. So let's grab. I think we're gonna do the same compressor. I'm gonna pull up my. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use the SSL here on those. I am going to try that, actually. Because I just think it's such an easy compressor to use, and it just seems right on the percussion. I'll leave the 4-to-1 attack. Do about 30. At least we're just going to do auto. Let's see what we got here. 16.3. It works. We're just going to go ahead and drag this on over to the claps as well. Why not? Yeah. Three. Is that what I said? 18.4. Right on the money. I'm in. Okay, all right. That's good for me. I like that. I like that. All right, now let's set out on this tonal EQ journey. Shall we? So I use, I've set up these PDFs, these kind of processes on this journey. So I'm going to start pulling those up, and so I can start using those for the tonal EQ goodness. I do have, for instance, for lead vocal and the backing vocal, and I think the mix bus is up there. Nope, it's all about reverb and delay for depth and width in your project. I have those PDFs up over on my website as well. They are for sale. But the Secret Sauce PDF is free, and that is all about subtractive EQ and an overview of what the mix chains look like for all the various instruments and vocals. And so, let me get to my PDFs here. I should have pulled them up earlier. And I will show you. Because they're super, super detailed. And if they've got like a table of contents and everything, man, I went on deep dives on this because I needed it for my own brain so that I could remember, to be honest. So, but here's what it looks like. This is just in my Google Doc, but of course I've turned these into PDFs. You can see all the content is right here, right? Even the subtractive EQ, compressor, it gives you various options for compressors. Right now I'm in Waves, Universal Audio, and Logic, and that's what I know. So I can't really tell you anything more than what I know. So that's the main plugins that I feature in all of my PDFs. I like Waves products. I love Universal Audio, and Logic is fantastic. So and I try to keep it pretty simple for myself, because here's the thing, will I keep, educating and going on deeper dives? Absolutely. Yeah, because I'm a nerd about this and I love this stuff. But also there's a time and point where I have to just kind of go, okay, let's get this done too, And honestly, I go for daily walks and I listen to music, soul music all the time. I don't know why that keeps doing that. Sorry. I keep going into a blackout screen. So I'm always paying attention to this stuff. And I've got reference tracks here too, which we'll listen to in just a minute before we start getting into this EQ. But you can see, here it is. So I've got the Pultec EQ P1A, or you can use the Logic Vintage Tube EQ as well, which I think sounds just as fantastic. Maybe a little more mid-rangey than the Pultec EQ P1A, but it's still a great EQ. So here you go, and it tells you all about how to use it, and especially when you're using Logic's Vintage EQ, it mimics the Pultec Pro Legacy, which has all the mid-range in the bottom box, or it might be backwards. I think the Pultec is the mid-range is up top and the low stuff is at the bottom, low and high. So, and it just, because I have to remember this stuff too. Okay, this tells me what this all represents, so I know, what I'm looking at, what hertz, what kilohertz, all that good stuff. So I just wanted to show that to you for a minute, to show you that it's a lot of information in here. All right, let's go back to, if I can get to half of the EQs tonight, I would be a happy, happy girl. And also what I'm starting to learn about the reference tracks is I'm trying to remember that this is an overall tonal view. Like, I've spent so much time getting tripped up over why can't I get my bass to sound like this? Well, you're probably not going to get it to sound exactly the same, because if the bass players are different, their attack is different. The kind of bass you're using is different. EQs, everything you're running your bass in to record with, it's all slightly different. So, yeah, I've had to learn, like, okay, well, I'm just trying to get the overall energetic, which I think is really the key component in, I think if you can capture the energy of the song in your recording, that's the battle. Not even a battle. That's the win. That's, to me, that's all I'm trying to do. Yes, I'm trying to get it tonally, sonically close to my reference tracks. You know, but I'm not trying to sit here and pretend that I'm like some brilliant engineer over at Stax Records. I'm just trying to understand some of their techniques, apply them here, and allow my uniqueness and originality to also shine through. And I think mixing is the same thing. Mixing is an art. It's very technical, yes, but it's also an art. That is my opinion. So I'm just trying to say, let yourself off the hook. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you're like me, where you're like, I hate everything. You just want to curl up in a little ball and start, why can't I get it to sound right? All right, let's, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use, now for CPU usage, I have to use my Universal Audio plugin sparingly, and because I've already got it here on the mix bus with the EQ, I'm going to probably just use it on the lead vocals and that'll be it. So this is one of my favorite EQs. You know, I probably should have just gotten the computer with more RAM, but I didn't. So, there you go. All right, here's the fun part. I like to mess around with some of the presets just to see, because sometimes they got some really cool stuff in here. Like, there's not this, it might be this EQ, the Pultec Pro Legacy. And they have, for the bass, they have Jamerson. James Jamerson from Motown. Oh, come on. Delish. So let's see what we got here vocally. Sometimes I like to just listen to what happens when I just put the plugin on there. Like, there's just something about these. They've got some kind of magic or something. It's like voodoo in a box.
Oh, brilliant mind. You, oh, brilliant mind.
Can you hear that? Yeah.
Oh, brilliant mind. You, oh, brilliant mind.
Already there's a level of clarity happening.
Oh, brilliant mind. So don't you waste your time.
I have to clean up some of those clicks.
Oh, brilliant mind.
Isn't that?
You, oh, brilliant mind.
Already it just kind of like, just knocks it up a little bit. Gives a little clarity. Bloop. Quite lovely. And I may not do anything with that.
Oh, brilliant mind. You, oh, brilliant mind. You, oh, brilliant mind. Oh, brilliant mind. You, oh, brilliant mind. Oh, brilliant mind. You, oh, brilliant mind.
That's all I'm doing. I'm leaving it right there, right now. It just gave it a nice little zhuzh. I'm not gonna try to do anything more with that right now. Let's see what we got here for this, man. All right, we're going to take this down about 2 dB. Yep. I'm leaving it right there. Tube vocal, baby. And we're going to do the same thing right here on the doots. And the same here on the talk bus. $21. Yeah. 17.2. Love it. One and done, baby. One and done. Let's go ahead and see what we got for the bass. I will be putting the bass mix PDF out soon. Reverb, mix, palette, strings. Huh, where did I put the bass? Haha. All right, let's see what we got here on this tonal EQ for the mix bus. All right, see what we can do. Let's see what we can do for you, sir. Ma'am. Let's see what we got here. We got nothing for bass. That's all right. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We've already done a high pass filter on that. Right, we're gonna do a little low shelf boost. So let's take a little listen here real quick. And I will note that another cool thing about Logic's vintage tube EQ is that you notice you can do, like you've got, right, you can do this in much smaller increments where the Pultec EQs, you can only it only switches from 60 to 100. There's no in between. You know what I mean? So that's another cool thing about this. So we're going to go to about 80 here. Now, this is the other thing that I need to do for myself is I have to see the waves. Like I have to look at the suggested EQ, and then I have to be able to see where the frequencies are hitting, and then I start treating it by looking at a graph. That just helps me. I'm a visual person, and bass is a little tricky for my ears. I have a little bit of tinnitus in my ears, so I need to see the graph. I need to see it visually to make sure, like for instance, the recommend is to cut around 250 to 300 hertz. Let's see, is there a lot going on there, especially with this playing with a pick? Oh yeah, there is. So we're going to go over here. We're going to use this bottom part here to dip this mid frequency between 2 and 300. Probably closer to 200. Oh, come on. Let me just save this before things get wacky. Uh-oh. Things are starting to get wacky. I don't know what's happening here. It's probably time for me to just hop off. Yeah. All right, I'm going to hop off. I don't know what's going on here, and I certainly don't want to lose what I've done on this project. So, all right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I will be back tomorrow night, and we will get to the universal reverbs and delay on this. I will go ahead and continue on with the EQ on this track, and then we'll just talk about how to set up your universal reverbs and delay, and we'll just kind of adjust a couple of things. We'll be using mono. Well, I'll tell you about it tomorrow. Let's hop back on tomorrow. We're going to find a way. We're going to talk about how to get the stuff that you want right up the center, like vocals, bass, and drums to kind of stay in the center and carry that weight in mono, and then put everything else in stereo. Kind of like a flower. Okay. Don't forget to pick up your free PDF. You can comment Secret Sauce, and I will give you the link, or you can just head over to my website. It's in the Analog Studio tab, and don't forget to reach out about your custom song, because they're turning out so good, and I'm having so much fun, and people are really loving them. And I mean, how many people can say they have a custom song? I'm giving them the same attention as I am writing my own stuff. And I gotta say, man, I'm really good at this. I really am, and I love it. And it's one of those things where you can listen to in the car, but it's, your song for your sweetheart or your anniversary or a birthday or whatever. And it's like your sonic painting. But instead of hanging up on the wall, it's your ear candy. Okay? I'm just saying. And I am throwing in framed lyrics as part of the deal. It's usually an add-on, but right now, because, well, it's almost the holidays, I am throwing in the framed lyrics. So get on it. All right, you guys. Thanks again. Over and out until tomorrow when we come back.